Welcome back, everyone, to part two of the food and beverage supply chain analysis. In the part one, I was able to show you how we created the first page of this dashboard, which is the summary page, and we're going to be creating the rest of the pages in this part two. So all I need to do is just to duplicate the first page so that we won't need to recreate all of this again. So I'll just come down to summary and duplicate. So these duplicates will be renamed operational risk. Operational risk. So all we need to do after renaming is to remove everything we don't need here. And in this case, I will change this from executive summary to operational risk page because that's the page we're on. So I'll change from executive summary to operational risk. Then we're going to leave our fields and the year. So I'm going to, hold on. So of course, our field has the channel and the category. So we're going to leave it for now. When we're done, we'll decide what to do with this, but the year filter stays. Okay, so for this page, we're going to rename this, instead of having this page provides a high level snapshot, we're changing this particular text. I change it, so double click it. Come to shape style, come to text, and this is where we're going to paste the text because this was a shape, not a text box. So we're going to remove all of this and delete. So I'll type in this page digs into. So I have typed it here. It says this page digs into the root cause of so this page digs into the root causes of operational inefficiency, breaking down supplier reliability, warehouse output, stock out, returns, and waste to help managers identify and prioritize the areas posing the greatest risk. Okay, so since, remember, this is our operational risk page, so I'm just going to rename this operational. Why? I thought I renamed it earlier. Delete the executive summary and rename it operational risk. So I've renamed the brief explanation. Since this is a second page, like a sub page, I'm just going to make it look a little bit different from the main page, which has the executive summary. We're still going to work on these two to ensure that this yellow filling will be on the operational risk too. So, but let's finish working on the dashboard. So I'm just going to select this and right click, go to group and ungroup. Remember, I grouped it earlier on the first page. I'm going to remove the picture, just delete it and drag this one up. Come to shape style, expand, come back to your fill and reduce transparency. Just transparency a little bit. I just want it to be a bit different from the other. So come back to color, go to more colors and choose a lighter shade for this. We'll still reduce our transparency. Okay, so for the page itself, I'm going to select the text box to come to fill and reduce transparency, and then I will just turn off the filling completely. Then come to scroll down to text and make it black. Or like I always say, this is simply optional. If you want to, it's all based on your own design. If there's a way you actually want yours to look, you can actually make it look better. Okay, but I just feel like this is how I want it to look. just to make it look different from the previous page, from the first summary page. So for my cards, I'm still going to come to the cards, come to card option. Remember, I'm using the formats. All the changes I'm making is from here, the format tab on the left, on the right hand side pane. So always make sure your format tab is by the side, always accessible to you. So expand the cards, scroll down to border. You can turn off your border. Then come to background, reduce transparency. So I'm just going to reduce transparency and take it up here. Good. Now, I'm not yet done because I'm still working on my cards. I need to change some values on this part, like I'm going to remove some and leave some. So I'm going to remove revenue, gross profit. I'm going to leave OTIF and stocker rates, and I'm going to remove quality issue rates. So let's start with the revenue. So let's close the format and bring out our build. So instead of revenue, I'll be changing it to late days. Please, most of these formulas have already been calculated in the first video in part one. So just check out that video so that you see how those formulas were gotten. So late days, and not just sum of late days, is going to be changed to average late days. So double click. You can always rename it from here. So average late days, average of late days. Then enter. You can see the change is benefited there. So we have 0.17 here. Then, okay, let's make the other changes first. Instead of gross profit, I'm going to be changing it to return quantity. So select here, type in, search for return quantity, select it. Then you can see that our references are out because we completely changed the values for that particular card. So let's go to OTIF. We're going to leave OTIF like this. Stock out rate, we're going to leave stock out rate. Quality issue rate, let's change it. Let's change our quality issue rate to waste unit. So expand this again, search for waste units and select. So we have our card. So let's close the build tab now and go to formats, because it's on format that we're going to set our references. So come to your reference labels layout, scroll down and apply settings to, let's start with the first settings. No, not layout, please. Let's go to reference labels. Scroll down and apply settings to average of late days. So we're going to start with average of late days and add data. So we're going to add the late days again. Then instead of sum, we're going to check maximum. So I want to see the maximum late days. Okay. Then once you're done with that, just come to your value. Okay, we can start with the title so we can see it clear. So come to title. So of this dark brown, make it lighter so we can see it here. And then scroll down to value. So of the black, you can make it still white. Scroll down. We're not yet done because we need to edit the name properly. So come to select label here, maximum of late days. We're still under reference labels. Select under add label, you will see a select label option. So select maximum of late days, then scroll down to where you have title and select field name, set customer. Sorry, not customer, custom, and write max late days. Okay, so you have your maximum of late days. For your value, let's increase the value a little bit. Okay, the value is already 12, so we don't want it to be bigger than the others, so you can leave it at 13. Then that's it, we're done with maximum late days. Let's go to sum of return quantity. Sum of return quantities, go down, still under reference label since you're still working on that card. Select after sum of return quantity. We're still going to make some changes to the name, to the title. So let's just do it. Come to sum of return quantity, double click and clean out this area and then give it a space and enter. Now go back to your reference labels. Scroll down. I'm working with sum of return quantity. That's return quantity now. Let's add data. So we're going to be adding our return rate. So add data, search return rate. Yeah, good to go. So you have your return rate here. Scroll down, come to title, use the same settings you used for the first one, and change the color. Let's use this lighter shade. Then come to value and use a white color. Use the same color you used for the previous. That's under value. I'm just going to make the value 13. Then scroll up again to where you have select label. So select return rate, and okay, you don't even need to leave it like that. So you don't need to change the name. So this is good. So you have your return rate right here. Now that you're done with return rates, let's go to waste unit. So go back to your reference labels, scroll down and select waste units. So add data to your waste units. And for your waste unit, you're going to be searching for waste units. Sorry, not waste units, waste quantity, not waste unit. So let's remove this. So we have waste quantity and we're going to change it to maximum. But we want to see the maximum quantity wasted at a particular time. So that's why we're setting it to maximum of waste quantity. So once you're done with this, scroll down again, come to select label, select maximum of waste quantity, scroll down to title, select field name, come to custom, and we're going to rename it maximum quantity wasted. Make the color brighter. Come to your value too. Do the same for the value to make the color brighter. Increase the font style, then select your brighter color that you've used for this previous ones. So you have your maximum quantity wasted 26. You have stock out rates 4.02% and stock out orders. So let's go to stock out orders and wait and change it to white just like the others are. So go back to your waste unit and select stock out rates. Scroll down to stock out rates. Come to title. Scroll. So we're going to remove the conditional formatting we put there. Now let's check out our conditional formatting. So you see for our conditional formatting, we had a minimum and a maximum. But since we didn't put conditional formatting for the other reference values, I'm just going to remove it completely. I will remove conditional formatting and select the color to be a dull white for the title. And then come to value, also do the same. Remove the conditional formatting and set the color to a brighter white. Okay, I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible so that even beginners can follow up. But if you want a situation whereby the colors will change accordingly, if you want it to change to red if it's going into a lower value and change to green if it's going to a higher value, just go to my previous video, the part 1 reference video, and see how and see how I did it. So you can just apply the same thing here. So you can see we have our average leg days, we have our return quantity, and we have our OTIF. We have the stock out order. So for this particular figure, let's just drag it up to highlight it properly. So select it again, come to format. See here, we cannot actually make any change unless we select it one by one. So I'm going to double click on one of the box, come to shape style, come to fill, and let's see a darker color. Okay, so you see if I use a darker color, it just makes it duller. So we're going to leave it at this. come back, double click it, and change it back to white how it was. So that highlight was just to highlight the reference value so that it will pop out. So now we have our KPI ready. Even the KPI holder, which is this behind, we still have it ready. If you, like I said, you can always make a choice on the kind of way or the kind of structure or colors you want your dashboard to use. But whatever color you're using, make sure that it rhymes with the rest of your report. Do not use colors that are very, very conflicting with the rest of your report. It will not really look good. So you can try a different color shade. If you are someone who loves dark colors, you can try using a dark color background for this. So let's just stick to what we used earlier on. So we're done with the KPI. Let's go to our chart. So the first chart we're going to be building will be a line chart. So I'm going to just be using this. We're going to be building a line chart and a donut chart. We're going to be having 4 charts here. So that's why I'm minimizing and reducing the length of this. So select it. Instead of revenue by month, we're going to be having the monthly stock out rate versus quality issue rates to be a monthly stock out rate versus quality issue rate. So for revenue, we're going to start with monthly stock out rate. That's stock out rate. Then we're going to add a secondary axis and will be for quality issue rate. So you can see the 2 charts here. So we're going to leave it like this because the colors are the only color we're going to change is the first one for the stock out rate. You can see that this one has a legend here, the line chart showing me the stock out rate and the quality issue rate. So select it, come to format, lines, scroll down, and instead of series or select quality, so select the first one, which is the stock out rate. Scroll down to stock out. Scroll down to color and change the color. Select this color first. So we want to use the lighter shade of that color. That's why I asked to select it first. So let's select something close to this. And this is fine. Go back. Go again and select your quality issue rate. So you can see the blue rhymes with our color for the quality issue rate. So don't really change. But if you are very concerned, you want to make it exact, we can just select this color. Just a just slight variation between the two. So you have your revenue, but not revenue, sorry. So let's go back to our title now and correct it. So open your title, cancel all of this, and rename it monthly stock out. Monthly stock out rates, monthly stock out rates versus quality issue rates. Now, once you're done with that, come back to your subtitle because you know the subtitle we used here was for the previous chart. So scroll down to subtitle and rename your subtitle. So for subtitle, I'm going to just delete everything and say tracks tracks operational risk indicators. So tracks operational risk indicators to sorry, I doubled my what's the name. So come here and turn on text wrap so we can see everything. Tracks operational risk indicators over time to detect whether problems are improving, worsening, or seasonal. That's it for your quality issue rates. The next one will be revenue by warehouse name. Okay, anyway, so we're going to do return rate by warehouse name and also return rates by channel. We're also going to have OTIF by supplier name. So I would not need this. If you're not too sure of what you have in your categories, just come here, search for categories, come to table, come to table view. The fields is what we use here. The field, that's where you have your channel and your categories. So you can see we have fat orders channel, products category. So go to product and see the category we have there. So let's go back to our report view. So what am I trying to say? Trying to say that we do not need this field because we'll be using different types of slicer. So come back to your OTIF. Sorry, let's start with the revenue. So take your revenue and right click. So the next chart we're going to be building is the revenue by channel. Sorry, not revenue by channel, revenue by warehouse. So select this, come down to close this tab, expand your build, come to fields. Instead of fields, you're going to have warehouse name. So select your warehouse name. So you have your revenue by warehouse name. And we're still going to edit the donut chart to ensure that all the colors rhymes with the previous color we've been using. So come to slices under your format tab, select color, select FX. FX will help you to apply a particular gradient from highest to lowest. So our highest value is going to be this particular color we're using on our dashboard. So Windows Shift C to activate my color picker to copy it. Come to here where you have more colors, close this and paste that color picker, the color you copied. Now come to lowest value, come to select this color, but then we're going to choose a lighter shade. So more colors and then click OK. So the field we should base this on should be on revenue. Click OK. Now you can see our revenue by warehouse and everything has been highlighted properly. Close this, come down to your values. Okay, I think this is all. So scroll down and put this here. Reduce. So we have a monthly stock out rate. I'm just going to reduce this up so I can have space for this one under. Come scroll down, bring it up. Come to your revenue by warehouse name, bring it up. Then come to your channel. We're going to have return rates by channel. So just I need to ensure that everything is evenly spaced out. So you have, instead of OTIF by channel, we're going to have return rates by channel. Please ensure that the lines are really evenly spaced out and aligned, properly aligned. So scroll down. No, scroll down, sorry, not scroll down. Expand this chart a little. Okay, so for OTIF, for return rate by channel, select this one. Come to your fields, expand it, and search for return rates. Search for channel first. Then come down here to remove this underline, please. Come to x-axis. Instead of OTIF, we're going to have we're going to have return rate by channel. That's return rate. So you have your return rate by channel now. Now scroll down to your, you can see that the bars are not properly formatted, the colors are mixed up. So scroll down to your conditional formatting, select FX. What field should you base this on? You should base this on return rate and click OK. Now for this chart here, I'm going to turn it into a column chart. So select your column chart. Yeah, good to go. Now we're going to have one more chart here. So let's duplicate this return rate by channel. So select the return rate, Control C and Control V. Just want to duplicate it and drag it up here. We're going to have one more chart by the side here, and that chart is going to be a bar chart. Just align it properly, then turn it to a bar chart, and that's for that chart. It's going to be OTIF in percentage by supplier name. So you have your OTIF by supplier name. Still scroll down to bars, select conditional formatting, and change it to from return rate, change it to OTIF, and click OK. So you have your OTIF by supplier name. So for this one, expand it to the end here. So basically, we've done a lot of work here. You have your return rate by channel, OTIF by channel, OTIF by supplier name. We have return rate by channel and revenue by warehouse. So we can also add subtitles here to explain the chart. So select the revenue by channel, come to title, scroll down to where you have subtitle, expand it, and remove this by warehouse. Once you remove it, automatically it will go back to the main title. So we're going to be typing in, it shows how much revenue each warehouse is responsible for. Shows how much revenue to identify. So to show here, scroll down and text wrap. Do the same for return rates. Delete the subtitle and set it compares the volume of return goods across channels. So we have compares the volume of return goods. Put on your text wrap. Where are we? Sorry. So scroll down to where you have your text wrap and turn it off. So return rate by channel will have compares the volume of returned goods across channels to pinpoint where products or delivery quality issues are most frequent. So let's adjust this one too. Just drag it out. I'm just going to select once and then drag out. So let's look for return rate by channel. So return rate, select it. I want to see the measures for return rates. And you can see it's on automatic, so we're going to just set it to one decimal place. So for your return rate, select it again. We're going to change it to percentage instead of just decimal. So select your return rate and come here and change it to percentage. So you see we have our return rate, we have our, okay, one more thing, set it to two decimal place now and click OK. Since we have two decimal places for our OTIF. So basically we've done the operational. Okay, remember one thing, the OTIF by supplier name. So expand your formatting, come to title, scroll down to subtitle, delete that supply name. And then we're going to have places revenue and profit side by side, ranks all suppliers. So we're going to put a benchmark for this particular chart so that we'll know those that have crossed the line if they are performing better, those that are behind the line if they are underperforming, those that are performing and those that are not performing well. So we'll go for reference line, scroll down to reference line and add line. So choose a type. So of course from our brief, our reference is 95%. So anything above 95% from this OTIF, you see the target is 95%. So anything above that is performing well, anything below that is not performing. So X has this constant line, scroll down, and the value is 95%. So we're not just going to write 95, we're going to put it at 0.95 so it will show properly. Now this is in percentage already. So for our color, we're going to make it just light orange. So it's not really light orange, same color we use here. Let's look for a color that will be more pronounced. So that is our constant line. So you can see how I place a constant line there. You can just do your own, just like that. Now we're done with this page. We have our operational risk page, which is completed. The OTIF by supply name, return rate by channel, revenue by warehouse, monthly stock out versus quality stock out rate. You were able to see I was able to do this quickly because I simply copied the structure of this previous page and pasted it here. I didn't need to do a lot of changes again right from scratch. So the only thing we need to change now is this panel by the left. So we're going to be changing it. To edit our page navigation button, we need to select it, come to format, expand your format, go to button style, come to text. All I need to do right now, I'll just change the name from operational risk to executive summary, and then I'll remove the icons too and change it to the executive summary icon. So come to text, expand it, instead of operational risk, rename it executive summary, so that the other previous formatting will still be there. Then close up the text, come to icon, go to icon. Remember, it's still under default settings, that is state. The state is simply how you want the button to be. Default setting means general settings. If you expand it, selected on hover on press means how do you want this to appear when you hover on it, or how do you want the button to appear when you press it. That's what this state means. So let's scroll to icon. We're still under default icon. I'm going to cancel this. So the default icon is white for default normal state. So cancel it, browse. I'm just going to pick it up from where I kept it. So I have picked the default icon for executive summary. Then you can see that when I hover, the icon changes. So I need to change it to a yellow executive icon summary. So come to default, expand and select on hover. Scroll down to where you have your icon, cancel it, and pick the yellow one. So I've done that. Now for this first one, the previous executive summary, select it and change it to operational risk. So go back to your text and rename it. Once you select a button, the format button automatically applies to that particular chart or visual or button you select. So let's rename it operational risk. Now this operational risk is still on. Let's check the state it is on. It's on hover. Look at it here. So it means it's only when I hover you see the operational risk. Scroll down again. Then come to icon, cancel this, and pick the yellow operational risk icon. Now let's go back. Set span the on hover, select default, come back to text and rename it operational risk. Once you're done with this, scroll down again, come back to your icon, cancel it out, and select the white operational risk icon. So you can see it now. So you have your operational risk, your executive formula. Let's go back to operational risk. And change the padding. So come under your text, you see padding, the settings here. Come here, change it from 12 to 60. Remove this and change it to 0. Change this to 6. Let's check the state that this is on default state. So once you're done with the padding, come and set it to left alignment so it will all be on the same line with the rest. So you see we're done with this. We're really done with it. so we're done. The one thing we're going to do is to drag this to this particular space. So I'm going to double click and drag this out, then double click and bring this in. So it will be on the second space where it's supposed to be originally. So once you're done, select your executive summary, come to action, page navigation and destination. You're going to select a summary page for your destination. So, and this operational risk, since you're already on the main page, so you don't need action, but if you must put an action, just still select page navigation and it should be none. So, and just leave it as this, since we're already on operational risk page. Now go back to summary, come to this operational risk, select it, come to action, select page navigation, come to destination and select operational risk. So that once you click on this, it will take you to the next page. Having finished our operational risk page, it's time for us to move to the next page. Remember, let all your settings be proper. This is a reset button. So select it, turn on your action, come to type and select clear all slicers because it's a reset button. So select clear all slicers and you're good to go. Do the same for the summary page. Turn on your action, expand, come to back, clear all slicers. And you are good to go. And let's go back to operational risk. So now, since we're done with operational risk, the next agenda is to create the financial performance page. Like we did before, just duplicate it. So select duplicate and rename it. Double click to rename it. Rename it financial performance. Then we're going to remove all the charts that we do not need. Okay, but that will be one by one. So like we did with the first page, let's start with the KPI. Okay, let's start with the heading. Instead of operational risk, we're going to have financial performance. And enter. and come to here and say this page examines how operational outcomes translate into financial results, connecting revenue, cost, and margin trends across suppliers, categories, and warehouses to review where profitability is strongest and where it is most at risk. So that's what I'll be typing in here. So type it in. So select it, come to shape style, come to text, delete the previous text, and then type in. Okay, so I am done typing it. So if you notice, I'm typing all of this inside the text box here. But if you don't want to type this in, you can just insert a text box and type it in directly. The reason why I don't want to use a text box is because of um, just for convenience reasons. Okay, so you can actually insert a text box and type it directly on the text box. So for the main KPI itself, we're going to have cost of goods sold. We're going to change all of this basically. So the first card we're going to be changing is the average of late days. So expand your view tab. We're going to change in average of late days to cost of goods sold. So we're going to change the return quantity to gross margin. I'm going to change the OTIF. Okay, we're leaving OTIF. So we're going to leave the OTIF. We're not changing OTIF. We'll change the stock out rate to average order of value. Average order value. Then we'll come to waste units and we're going to change it to average discount. That's discount PCT. Then expand this and instead of sum, put it to average discount PCT. So you have your discount, you have your order value, OTIF, gross margin, and cost of goods sold. So let's come back to formatting and clean it up nicely. So I'm just going to come here and delete this particular icon, select it again, come to format, come to reference labels. We want to work on the reference labels. So come to OTIF. Let's remove the target because we want all of them to look alike. So you have your OTIF, you have your average order value, you have the average of discount PCT. So come back to your build where you have average of discount PCT. I'm just going to put a little space and instead of the average, I'm going to put it as AVG to shorten it. Then enter. That's the quickest way of changing your title. Come again to average order value, AVG. I've reduced it to all normal sentence formatting. We're just going to leave OTIF as it is and the cost of goods as it is since these are abbreviations. So come to OTIF, just double click, remove the percent, come to gross margin, double click on gross margin, and enter. And you are good to go. So we're done with the KPI. Save this. Come back to your filters again, your formats. Come to cards. Let's see the position and the layout of this card. Okay. Scroll down to callouts. Expand your callouts. Scroll. Come to layout and set it up. Then come down to padding. and set the padding to 40. So now we're done with our KPI basically. For this, it's just a very simple KPI. I didn't put any reference values here. So let's go to the chart. Let's start with the first one. The first chart should be revenue versus gross margin trend. Now we're going to do a quarterly trend here. So select this, come to your data. Okay, not data rather. Let's be using the build. I'm just going to close this formatting and data. So come to build. So instead of month name, we're going to select quarter. We're going to select quarter names. Okay. Now that's quarter one, two, three, and four. Then we're going to have revenue versus gross margin. So instead of stock out rate, we're going to be having select your field, type in revenue. Then instead of quality issue rate, you're going to be having stock out rate. Then change this to a double column, this one, line and star column chart. So ensure your revenue, your column Y axis is on revenue, and then the second one, which is the line Y axis, we're going to set it to stock out rate. So select it. So you can see your stock out rate here. So close it up. Come to formats. Let's start with the bar. So columns. Let's start with the column. Sorry, we're going to use conditional formatting. Should base this on quarter. The highest value should be that dark blue we've always used. So I'm going to just drag this aside and use my color picker to come to highest value, more colors, and paste it there. Then come again, lowest value, select this blue, then come to more colors and choose a lighter shade, just like you did for the other columns. So click OK. So you can see from here, the bar that has the longest or the deepest is the place where you have more revenue for that quarter. And then the bar that has the lightest, the smallest, is where you have there's a mistake here. So come back to your formatting, select FX. We're basing this field on the revenue, please, not quarter, and click OK. So you can see it right now. Now let's do the chart, the line charts, the line itself. Scroll down to color, select color. Let's make it light so it will just be contrasted with the remaining chart. So we're done with that. Let's go to, okay, we're not really done. Come to title, and instead of monthly stock out rate, we are going to rename this title revenue versus gross margin trend. Then you can scroll to your subtitle, expand, and I'm just going to type in the subtitle. Once I'm done typing, you can just copy it from the screen. Pause the video and copy it out. So I've typed a subtitle. Let's go to the next chart. The next chart we're going to build in is cross margin by category. So come to your build. So warehouse name, we're going to change it to category. Then change the revenue to gross margin. Then come back to title under your format and correct that, remove the percentage. So you have gross margin by category in percentage already. And ensure that your legend is by the side, showing you, indicating what is color, each color is for. So let's change the subtitle to. I'm just going to type it out, then you copy it from the screen. I am done typing this in, and we're done with gross margin by category. we're going to change next this first one, which is revenue versus gross profit by category. And we're going to be using this 100, not 100%, please, this stacked bar chart. So select it, come to supplier name and change it to category. Then come to your x-axis and change it to gross profit. We're going to add data again. Instead of gross profit, we're going to add okay, sorry. The first one should be revenue. Then the second one, add data, should be gross profit. So you have this. You have this. Then come and remove, come to format, scroll down to where you have the reference line and remove the reference line entirely. No more reference line. Then come to, let's close this first. Let's expand the title and rename it revenue versus gross profit by category. Okay, it's already there. And come to your subtitle, and I'm going to type in the subtitle here. Now, to type in my subtitle, you can either type it in here like I've always done, or come here, double click on the subtitle on the main chart itself, delete the one you have there and type in the next one. So that's it. Now come back to your subtitle, scroll up, close the size and position, come to title and turn on text wrap under subtitle. So this will show. Then scroll down to your bars. Not select the first one, which is revenue, change the color to the other color you've been working with. Then select the second one, which is gross profit, and change the color to a lighter shade. Just so easy to do like that. Now come to the next one, which is return rate by channel. We're still going to change this to a chart of our choice. So come to build and change it to a stacked bar chart. And instead of return rate, we're going to be having revenue versus gross profit by supplier. So all I need to do is to delete this chart entirely. Since I have revenue versus gross profit by category, just Ctrl C and Ctrl V, duplicate it and drag it down here. Then once you are done with that, instead of category, rename it or change it to supplier name. You can see all your settings are still there. Nothing changed except the data labels. So you can come to data labels. It's already turned on, but it's not showing. So expand your data label, come to position and select inside base. Inside center, not inside base. It's not showing because the size is small. The spacing is very small. So let's find a way to adjust it properly. So to adjust our data label, after setting to inside center, come and turn on overflow text. And you have your text inside your display. inside the bars. So we have our revenue, we have our gross profit. Let's do something here. Select it, come back to your data levels, come to value and reduce it to 10. Do the same for the next one. So that it just fit in. It's still visible, but want it to fit in properly. So you have your revenue versus gross profit by category, revenue versus gross revenue. Oh, this should be, let's go back to formats, come to title. It should be revenue versus gross profit by, not by category this time around, by supplier name. Then we're going to come to subtitle here. Just double click on this box, double click on the inside one, delete it, and I'm going to put a new subtitle. So I have typed it in. And to save. So we have our financial performance page very ready. I think we need to change now is to, let's add a channel slicer. So Control C and Control V. Let's duplicate this one, drag it here. Then instead of year, we're going to change it to channel. Then come to size and style. Close this up. Come to slicer setting and select drop down. You're good to go. So let's see that this is working properly. Good. So you see this, the slicers are all working properly. So that is it. For our average discount, let's search for it. Discount PCT. And change it to percentage. Start to change to percentage here. So this is what we want to have here. Now, once you're done with this, we'll go to the next page, which is, okay, we're not yet really done. So let's work on the financial performance key this time around. So remember, all we need to do is just change it. You want a situation where when we over, it will give you this. There's something we didn't set in the operational risk. So come back to operational risk. I really want operational risk to turn yellow completely. So select operational risk, expand, come to button style, under on hover, scroll down to text and change the color to yellow. So this is what you get. And we're done with that. That's just it. Come back to financial performance. No, we're going to be doing the same process we did with the previous one for your financial performance. So all we need to do here is, instead of making a lot of changes, select the financial performance. We're going to be working on the default style. So select default and change the background. Come to the fill, come to color and select a yellow color. Make sure it's the same color that the others are using, the same color shade. So let me use my color picker to pick the exact same yellow color. It's a good color. Come to color, more colors, paste it there, and then go back. So you have your financial performance. Can you see it now? Then come back to operational risk, come to fill and select the blue fill. Now on hover, you want it to also change yellow. Select on hover, Come to operational risk and change the font color to yellow. So this is what we're talking about. See, the same with others. Very, very easy. Now come to your financial performance again. Scroll down to action. Turn it on. Where are we going to? Page navigation, and leave the destination to none because it's the financial performance page, or you can just simply leave it and turn it off. You can just leave it and turn it off. Then let's go to operational risk. The action page navigation should be to operational risk page. The same thing with executive summary. Okay, this is already on summary. So next is the glossary page, which we've not created. So to click the glossary page is simply a page that explains the text, most of the key items we found in this particular analysis so far. It's just an explanation in text. So I'm just going to copy this, duplicate this particular page again, and rename it glossary. I'm just going to, I'll delete everything here. So Control A. Okay, I think I'll just have to remove some items. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to rename it glossary. I'm going to remove the filters and each chart here. To delete, just select the charts that you want to delete at once and delete. Do the same for the KPI. So we have a very clean page. So insert a text box, and then you're going to paste your glossary and put it in here. So I'm just going to copy and paste. The glossary I've already prepared. So I have pasted it in here. So these are just an explanation of all the terms or information I used in this particular analysis. So you can actually pause your video and copy directly from here. So that is it. We've created our glossary, our financial performance, operational risk, and the main summary page. Let's work on the buttons now. Select your financial performance, come to button style, scroll down to fill, expand your fill. Instead of on hover, change it to default, change the color to that dark blue. Then come to your glossary, change the fill color to your gold color. So this is what we're going to have here. Then come to reset. I'm going to change the icon, turn it on. Come to action now, expand it. Action is to clear all slicers or reset all slicers. Just simply clear all slicers. If you're not comfortable with the icon, you can scroll up to where you have icon and select clear all slicers icon. This is a clear all slicers icon. So let's use the previous one, which is what we've been using for the previous pages. Then come to your glossary, ensure that everything is well formatted. On the glossary page, you don't need the action. Come to financial performance, turn on action, come to action rather, page navigation, and select financial performance. Now that we have a glossary page, let's go back to the first page and set actions for the glossary button. So select financial performance, turn on action, page navigation, and financial performance. Ensure your operational risk also is set well. Now go to glossary, turn on action, page navigation, and glossary. Come to reset, turn on action, clear all slices. So come to button style, scroll down to icon, turn it on, and you have your reset icon. Come to operational risk, select financial performance. What we're checking is the action this time around. Turn it on, expand, page navigation, and financial performance. Do the same for glossary, turn it on, page navigation, and select the glossary page. Then for your reset, it's on clear all sliders. So go to button style, icon, and turn on your icon. Do the same for financial performance. Select your financial performance. No, select your operational if you want the financial performance page. So ensure that it is proper. Go to glossary, turn it on, page navigation, and glossary. Then come to reset, turn on your icon. You have a reset icon. Come to glossary, ensure that everything is properly set. Ensure the page navigation buttons are connected to the pages, the main pages, the correct pages. So once you're done, you can save your work. So we are done building our food and beverage supply chain analysis, and I hope you were able to find it interesting and educational. So please, in case you have any questions, just type it into the comments box. I will check it out and I will respond to you. I'll check it and respond to you. So ensure you create all these pages, you post it online and tag me. I'm on LinkedIn and I would love to see your projects. I will see your project and I'll repost them. So thank you so much for sticking to my channel and I hope to see you in my next Power BI project.